This spring we're planning on building like a suspension bridge for the younger kids to walk through, and a little obstacle course through the woods. So just trying to keep it fun for the kids, keep them outdoors, you know. Experience that freedom. I don't know about you, but when I was a kid, we were just like, you know, we have to go out in the yard and entertain ourselves, and dig a hole in the ground with a stick was like our entertainment, you know what I mean? So 1E and a 2E, fingers 1 and 2. So, just working through the morning ritual and preparing ourselves for next week's activities. I've been working on, working some Megadeth solos like for Symphony of Destruction. I looked at some footage from some high school band footage, and I forgot we played like Megadeth, we played Symphony of Destruction way back in the day when it wasn't cool to play Symphony of Destruction. Pantera, Mouth for War, all of that stuff. Hostile. We did all of that stuff early on, get it out of the way. Then we will look back on some middle school footage, band footage, and we had a drummer that could play Spirit of Radio, and we nailed it. We did. Yeah, it was pretty. Just there's so much great repertoire out there to pull from, and you begin the day with a friendly voice, a manner, companion unobtrusive. Mr. Peart had a way with words for certain. All right, so I'm working on my breath and just trying to place myself here. Nice. And we're finishing up our grueling week of fingerstyle guitar. And just if you're just tuning in, Marlon, you probably saw it, but I did a quick video, a tutorial on how to prepare your picking hand fingernails if you wanted to learn how to reinforce those fingernails as they start to get overplayed and overused, and how to fortify those up and build those up into little individual plectrums on the tip of each finger. So that was released last night. It's just a quick little cell phone video. It doesn't need to be much. I always thought, I forget where I learned how to do it, but it was a little bit of research back in the day when I actually had to learn how to do it. So 4, 2, 3, let's use fingers 2 and 3, and we'll get that stretch going. You can see where I'm aiming to keep my thumb sort of low. Raul will get a kick out of this. Get a kick out of that, keeping that thumb low, because really what we're trying to do is, if I keep my thumb up here, like my palm is close to the bottom of the guitar neck, and then I have a limited range of mobility, and it costs me some extended angles here in the wrist. If we keep our thumbs down here, closer to the bottom of the guitar neck, we do get a little bit more sort of breathing room between the bottom of the neck of the guitar and our palm. So we could really, and then plus we could use the thumb as a pivot point, right? So we could reach back to, if we have to, fret number 4 and reach all the way up to fret number, 15, 17, 19, 21, We have a pretty substantial reach, but we'll keep an eye out on developing that. Let's do fingers 2 and 3. 1 E and a 2 E and a I'm really noticing that the feel on the fingertips is different this morning because they are built up quite a bit. And the tone is different. So I'm having to, it's almost like relearning how to play again with the picking hand. There we go. A little crush through we'll just crush through all of that stuff. This is still a really hard finger grouping for me to actually do. And I was thinking about surgery, you know. Not really, but maybe kicking the guitar over here and just changing the angles a little bit more. So if I push the guitar this way a little bit more, I get a little bit more action out of this. Do you know what I mean? So I can actually, if I have my guitar too close, it really causes me an issue with that proximity doesn't allow my fret hand to open up. Jamie Norrell, good morning. Hello. If you're just tuning in, we're engaged in, we do this every weekday morning at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's our morning ritual for guitar growth. And we just say hello to the guitars in the morning. We just take it easy. We're just pulling in, we're rolling in easy, getting the fingers worked up, getting the fingers ready for the guitar day, actually getting the fingers warmed up and ready for practice. But this ritual, if you are interested, if you're a guitar player, this will remain free it's free. I mean, it's just something I'm going to do anyway. And I thought I have some goals. Just woke up. Perfect timing. That's what I do too. So 1 E and a 2 E using fingers 1 and 3, 1 and 2 on frets 10 and 12. Ready? 1 and a 2 E. You'll notice if you stick around, I wanted to really welcome you here, especially if you're just waking up. The best time of the day. The best part of waking up is, well, it used to be Folgers in my cup, right? I was a little young for that. But the best part of waking up is starting out early with a guitar. Because if I start early with a guitar, I begin becoming a guitar player over the whole day. I'm always thinking about my morning ritual. So that's why I wanted, yeah, Ibanez. Most of the people here, most of our friends here show up, they arrive with guitar in hand. We go ahead and tune up, and we go ahead and we go through a breath cycle. We include breath into the entire morning ritual. We go through the tuning process, which maybe we did this morning. We didn't. It's Friday, so that's okay. And then we go through a mechanical process of warming up. And this is just giving us access to, you know, if you're practicing or teaching 6, 7, 8 hours a day, you probably stay in a pretty good, you know, pretty warmed up all the time. This is for those of us who want to also improve our breath, improve our own person, we want to do some goal setting. So I've got 3 short-term goals where I see myself at the beginning of summer, 3, you know, long-term goals, 5 years where I see myself in, you know, 5 years, 3 long-term goals. Am I even still playing the guitar? That answer is yes. And then, you know, a year from now, I see myself winning, you know, Winfield, you know, flat pick, National Flat Pick Championship. So that's one of my goals. And I thought, if I'm going to do that, I have a plan all written out. for myself. I need to execute the plan now in order to realize the plan, execute the plan, you know what I mean? And so I'm going to be here anyway, and I thought, if I have lofty goals, there are other guitar friends that I'm going to meet along the way who also have lofty goals. Maybe we want to sit down and we have a place to be at a certain time. I've never had an experience where I warm up with other people, and so this is a brand new thing for probably most of us. And it seems like it's a very enjoyable experience, so I would encourage you to come back and just join us again, Jamie, and bring a guitar. Fingers 2 and 3 and 4 on frets 10, 11, and 12. 1, 2, put 1, 2. Oh, trio. You talking my language. Do you guys write, or do you cover, or what do you do? If you don't mind us asking. Because typically what will happen, we have a culture of respect here in this live chat. It's usually a pretty banging experience. Guitarists from all over the place touring, you know, maybe they're playing in a group, maybe some of them have gigs ongoing. We're aspiring to be campfire guitar players. We're aspiring to, you know, play in stadiums where we all have, I think the goal set is pretty interesting too. To just show up and practice the guitar for the sake of maintenance of neuroplasticity. To me, that's enough. But gigging with the trio, that's very exciting. Well, it's a jazz group. Oh, very nice. Does this jazz group have a name? I've only ever seen this guy warm up. Does he ever play? Hey, Gizmos and Gadgets, have you seen? You can visit Jason Carey Guitar, my YouTube channel, and you'll see. You can take a look at. I don't know if there are hundreds of videos there. If you wanted to check it out, and you can walk through. But I also wanted to invite you, Gizmos and Gadgets. If you're here and you have a guitar in your hand, join us. You know, it's good for the. It's definitely good for the soul. 1 and 2. Fingers 1, 2, and 3, 10, 11, and 12. Ebenezer Top Ibanez. In a world full of guitar technique, this is some mystical. I think one reason it's free is because it's priceless. But you know, you can't replace your time. And so I like to try to show up on time and end on time. Occasionally I'll keep some of us over, but I just have a tremendous amount of, we all have a tremendous amount of work to accomplish over the span of a day. So I definitely don't want to be the one to encourage the squandering of time. We have So do you guys have a YouTube channel? Just we're finishing up this is the last day of Fingerstyle Week. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I appreciate that. That's a good attitude. Trolls gotta have something to do too. I found that we all want to be heard, right? And so it's important that we're all in a situation where we can all be heard and seen and heard and valued. And some of us didn't, some of us just like to troll. Some of us just like to do that. I have a friend who's from a previous life, like I have a friend who's probably one of the best internet trolls out there, like changes elections. You know, very, very talented troll. And I just, I had to let him know this yesterday. I saw something come over my timeline, one of my timelines, and I'm like, Curtis, you're the best at what you do. I mean, you're literally the best at what you do. So, it's an interesting thing, let's go ahead and just check out fingers 2 and 4. And we're using frets 9 and 12. So the thing about the culture of respect, though, is, we are basically here to, a rising tide floats all boats. If you hear you have a guitar channel that you're working on, if you'd like to swing by and promote it, this is, it's the same way that we ran the Conservatory of Music that I founded and directed for a few years or whatever. And it's really very open situation where if you want to improve yourself and you want to touch down and make some new contact points, connections, this is a good place. This is as good a place as any. Like last week we had Mr. Scott K. Fish, from the old managing editor for Modern Drummer magazine, right here in this very farmhouse dog room. And he stopped in for a visit because he was in town and we're good friends, and he's been in the room with Tony Williams, with Dave Weckl. He found Dave Weckl, for God's sake, So, one, so let's put that on 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 Z and a 2 Z and fingers 2 and 4. Here we go. 9 and 12. And we're just taking it easy. This isn't like a flash contest, this isn't about, I wish I could take requests, I like to, dance, play and take requests like everybody else, but this is sort of sacred territory for me. I'm really working on continuity of tone and continuity of stream of conscious, and really trying to work my breath so that all of this becomes a composite synthesis of what musical thought I'm going to develop, like in a live session. I'm really glad you're here, Jamie, because we just had a really great ensemble come, travel up here for a really big gig, private gig, but the Craig Brand Trio, Craig Brand. So 1 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Just working through the asana. I think most of us just think, sometimes I look at what I'm doing here. Why am I doing this on the internet? I've got 7 likes and it's like 8 likes. I'd like to see like 40 likes, 150 likes, but that's not really what this is about for me. And it's not what it's about for others that, once in a while we'll get like a 50 spot super chat or a 20 spot super chat, and they're helpful, whatever we can do to keep the lights on, right? You can't change the world if you can't keep the lights on. But this isn't like a situation where we beg. If I couldn't be here on my own free will and accord, I wouldn't be, obviously. So let's go ahead and take a look at, where are we at? Did we do fingers 2, 3, and 4 yet? I feel like we did. Let's try it again. 1 and a 2E and a 2 and do and 2. It's funny, Mark, if you look at the, Jamie, if you want, we'd love to highlight you on the community post, the post page. If you look at the post page, you'll see that we go ahead and highlight some of the frequent flyer live chatters. If you're here supporting the live chat, and you're here supporting yourself, trying to, really do the thing. Whereas you could just kind of sit around and play TikTok all day. If you're really wanting to improve yourself and really working to improve your game and the band, in the game of the rest of the Joes or blokes in your ensembles, I would say, let's figure out how we can give you a shout out on the community tab or the posts tab. Because you can go and take a look at Mark's guitar. We've got Mark right here in this live chat, and you can go take a quick look at Mark's the guitar that, like the old school guitars that just have been living with us for years, and why they're still with us, and why we haven't cut them or culled the collection. Yeah, so I would do this. Some of us soak our hands in water, some warm water before we perform. I mean, it all depends. Like, you've heard the David Sanchez story before. So Mr. Sanchez was, he doesn't eat anything before he performs. So you can see there's a little super glue and sodium bicarbonate here. I just did this last night, and if you're a fingerstyle guitar player and you want to learn more about how to fortify your fingernails without damaging like Lee press-on nails, you can check out that channel, that video right here on the channel. It's fingerstyle tone or something like that. So I'm using fingers 1 and 2 and 3, 1 and 2 and 3, 1 and a 2Z, and you know what to do. Hello, Jason. Oh. Yeah, each guitar definitely has a different voice, Mark, right? It's like spending the seat time with each guitar and really finding the voice. I have guitar nerd friends that say, oh yeah, we'll go into a music shop together. And Roger Steve will be like, oh yeah, that guitar's got all kinds of old tunes in it. Oh yeah, that's gotta get you're gonna get some really great songs out of that guitar. Like the guitar has a separate life, and then when you merge your life with the life of the guitar, then that's where the magic really starts to happen. I mean, I have friends who are like totally into the guitar voodoo thing, and they true believers, and I'm sure you do too. My goal is to get more steady gigs for Trio. Let's keep that in mind. And is there a reason for that? Are you looking to just like a paycheck? Or are you looking for? Is Carlos Santana's drummer, longtime drummer Michael Shreve, was he's talking about music first, being a musician, a person first, and then being doing the thing for money, or dancing around like a monkey or whatever. Miles Davis talked about that, like, I'm a monkey, I'm not gonna be a monkey. And are you looking to preach the message? Do you have goals that you want to achieve with your gigs? Exposure, like you just increase your market share. I mean, are you pushing the boundaries? You like doing like the Kurt Rosenwinkel thing, where you're just kind of like taking it to the next place. Have you thought about that? I always think about things like that. Like getting the gig is cool, but if I show up to the pub, and there's nothing wrong with this, but if I show up to the pub just to sell beers to patrons, that's cool because people like beer. People like that stuff. People like to have the refreshments, and then they like to have the time away, like going to a baseball game, right? We like to be entertained, right? Here I am, entertain me, and there's an entire market that's developed around that. So Mr. Eddie Gomez, are you familiar with Eddie Gomez? 1 and 2 E and T, 1 fingers 1, 2, 3, and 4. That's 9 and 12. We're back to 4 finger wonders here. 1 E and a 2 E and a E. I have 1. Okay, good. I want to hear you go full shred. Yeah, me too. I usually do that, in the shop. I used to have this guitar teacher I would go watch live, and he'd just play it cool. And every once in a while, he'd get so excited he couldn't contain himself. He'd just completely come apart of the scene. So dude was just a master. But he was always just in reserve, you know, and always focused on the tone, always focused on serving the song, and always focused on serving just the moment. And that was a great discipline in itself, and a really remarkable thing to witness as a young student. Sorry, I just tripped out hard on that. I don't know what. This is a really great live chat this morning. You know, this is really dinging some bells. Thank you for sharing your YouTube handle. We'll come back to that. If we can, you know, we all try to support each other too. One of the things that we like to do is go leave comments, watch videos, and go leave comments on each other's videos. And I think it's, you know, it's fair enough to do if you're here live chatting and we're going to be friends for, we're doing this live chat for, you know, this live stream every weekday morning at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for the remainder of 2025 and, you know, probably beyond, but there is some validity, like we were talking about Mr. Michael Shreve. You know, the rep he talks in with his friend Scott. I just mentioned how Mr. Scott Capefish was here like a week ago. You can go check out that live stream. It's all dated and titled and stuff with Scott Capefish. Scott's got a beautiful blog. He, you know, he's interviewed everyone and he's talked with everyone. He's friends with everyone. He's good friends with Mr. Neil Peart and that kind of stuff. And then, so Mr. Shreve was talking about, he was still around, he was still with us. Mr. Shreve talks about the repetition of the thing. Like, some of us look at repetition as sort of like some form of mental illness or the thing that's not to be talked about. You know, I have a friend who, you know, just plays the same thing over and over again. He's bat blot crazy, and it's or he's nuts or she's nuts, and it's like the craft, practicing the craft. You know, like I just related to like learning how to eat with a fork. You know, nobody really questioned you too much when you were first learning silverware and table etiquette. And then if you were going to eat with royalty, we'd have to up our game to consume with royalty, to share with royalty. And so all of those things relate directly to like riding a bike, relate to every other discipline in the world. Like, how far do we want to take it? Are we cool with just being a bedroom guitarist? Are we cool with just being a campfire guitar player? I'm okay with both of those things. Do I want to bring the guitar to new places for my own benefit? Absolutely. What do I need to do to accomplish that? So that's partially what this live stream all through 2025 is all about. The repetition of the thing that gives us access to the thing before the sign. That's the principle of we can't access the next thing. We can't even contemplate the next thing until we break through this other thing. So lift the veil, or all of that stuff. So let's go ahead and do the 1, 2, 3, 4, fourth finger stretch. 9, 10, 11, 13. 1, 2, 60 beats per minute all year long. Of course, over this course of the day, it's okay to change the tempo, lift the tempo, a few clicks at a time, maybe gain mastery over the next elevated level of tempo, and then just keep cranking it until you're at, 200 or whatever, prestissimo, and then just playing 16th note triplets like a monster. But we're just finishing up with, we're introducing the concept of fingerstyle and as an alternative to being a plectrum player, especially with the advent of the personalities of the players like Matteo Mancuso. Those of us who are really, pushing those limitations, know, the observable limitations and blowing right by those things. So we're sort of celebrating that we can also gain some mastery over fingerstyle. And it's, you know, it's not only finger picking, you know. Good morning, Jason. Gene, good morning. This guy is the man. I love how consistent and knowledgeable he is. Dan, that is an absolutely wonderful compliment. You know, gaps everywhere, but I really do appreciate that wonderful compliment. It's, that's very endearing, and I appreciate it. Dan Husband, I'm starting to see the results from this. I was playing last night and had to stretch for an F-sharp minor 9 chord. It wasn't perfect, but it was better than it's been. Yeah, you're going to start seeing those things happening. It's like, oh, I'm going through the metamorphosis. It's like, it's like Kafka. Tomorrow morning I'm going to wake up a Beatle or something. So here's the 1E and a 2E and a TE and a bogey. Let's take a look at 8. We're in position 9, but we're dropping finger 1 back. These are just basic, fundamental, chromatic style finger exercises. No, not necessarily any harmonic meaning, but unless we practice the thing, we won't have access to the thing. So 1 Z and 2 Z and putting on my shoe. That's right. Is that an Ibanez RG 420? It is. I have a Taylor 420 as well, which is my absolute favorite acoustic guitar. You know, it was a gift. I walked into the Taylor room, the humidor, you know, basically the guitar room, and in the shop, and at Dougie's shop, the old famous shop, and I had license to grab anything I wanted out of that Taylor room, and I ended up playing everything, and I ended up picking the absolute cheapest one. I think it was like $1,500 or something with the case. The case is made out of unobtainium. It's all unobtainium now, right? But, you know, everything else was like $3,500 and up, and I thought, this played and sounded the best to me. So that's, you know, a testament to why it's so important to play the guitars that you're getting with. Play a bunch of guitars. Just enjoy the ride if you're looking for new stuff. Oh, someone said yesterday they were picking up a new guitar too. Did we end up getting a new guitar in the group here? Mark? Jamie Murrell, the saxophonist. Oh yeah, so yeah, Sanchez, the keyboard player. He played with, he was on the Born to Run album with Bruce Springsteen. And, you know, our friend Scott was sitting there with Bruce Springsteen eating a bucket of chicken, fried chicken, at the power station when they were recording that. And so he was here last week, and Guitar Path, that guitar looks sick. Yeah, I've got to tell you, like, I never get bored of Ibanez guitars. So this is the mahogany back, right? Flame, the maple book match top, you know, this like the Les Paul binding. It's basically a Les Paul, like, but it's got sharp, pointy teeth on it. It's just a beautiful rig. I love playing it. It's, you know, it's got the DiMarzio things, you know, these little electrical thingies, the pickups on it. And the floating bridge is great. It's not the, you know, I had a Gem, the 77 FP, you know, sort of a rare bird now, but that has the Ibanez licensed Floyd Rose, but it's the low profile, it's the edge tremolo. This kick plate, it looks like the back of a 1990 skateboard. You know, like I'm going to do an ollie over a picnic table or something. And it kind of does get in my way a little bit. The low profile edge tremolo system really is like the bomb. If you don't have one of those, try them out. The edge tremolo is amazing. All right, so let's go back and before I just start crying about the loss of that 7.7 FP. So here's what we're doing now. We should stretch. All right, I'm going to stretch now, and I'm going to read through the comments and try to catch up a little bit. Okay, so I've got a straight elbow. I've got my wrist. You know, I'm not putting any tears. I don't want micro tears in any of the tissues, so I'm only going as far as feels good. This all feels really good right now. 15 clicks here. Then we're doing 15 clicks down here. I'll walk you through it 60 seconds later. We'll be back playing again. Yeah, guitar. Yeah, that guitar looks sick. Yeah, guitars teach me. Well, there's a monetary less reason, but also because I need to play out. That's what I do. Yeah. Eddie Gomez was telling me on once that, yeah, the bass player, right? And so Eddie Gomez was telling me that we're not marketable. And I'm like, what are you talking about? You played with everybody. Just blows my mind, like some of the things that we say, you know, that leave lasting impacts on the people to which we say the thing. It's to whom we say. Let's see. It's the straight elbow, other arm. Everything that I do on one side, I do on both sides. But I don't believe that we're not marketable. I don't believe that for 1 minute. You know, I think we're coming from the position where music is sort of a cultural thing to be preserved. It's like basically the human story. You know, it's an act of conservation and education and ultimately, right, it's, are we going to Mars, or are we just going to stay here, you know, and hang out? What are we doing? Are we just going to sit around on the couch and be warm and comfortable? Or are we going to climb Everest or Mount Washington, or we're going to do the thing? So I think there's a little bit of that activity is the key going on. Strategies, we do offer assistance to sort of in the form of a label through Pinecone Records. I think they do some work with artists like me and like you and like Mr. Craig Brand, and it's just sort of super low key but super effective and deep experiences. All right. Good goal. Playing out. Just the activity is the key. You know what I mean? All right. Something from Star Wars. There we go. Chucksy Polska. My friend had a set list of 20 songs, and he knew and played them through every day. Might not be the traditional way of doing it, but it worked very well for him. Absolutely, Dan. Yeah, so the way I look at that, right? So we have like what's called an A list and a B list, right? So your A list are the ones that are finished up and buttoned up and ready for performance, and the B list are the songs that are sort of over here being worked and slowly popping themselves into the A list. So A list songs, set list, and B list set list. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then what we're doing is we're using string groups. Top 3 strings, middle 3 strings, bottom 3 strings. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're using 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we invert the pattern. We do 1, 2, 3, 4. We ascend. Then we descend to 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we descend position. 4, 3, 2, 1, and then invert that pattern, then descend to 4, 3, 2, 1. Descend position. And Raul knows all about these things. He's doing a bunch of great work on his channel, And what we're doing is we're absorbing some of the exercises that he's laying out for us. We're absorbing them into the group a little bit at a time. And all right, so let's go ahead and take a walk through the snaky way. 1 E and a 2 E and then no much to So a little register overrun there. Yeah, I mean the set list, some of my friends have been playing the same songs for like their entire career. And they become so well known and so well loved. And it works, it does work very well for them. Absolutely. 4 middle strings now, same thing. 2, 3, 4, you know what to do. Jamie, yes, I want to play good music the way I've been doing my whole life and keep the music going on. Jazz music has to survive. It just can't die off. Jazz music is alive and well because of representatives like yourself. It was great to develop the old tunes and back porch spirituals and junk. Oh. Dirge, like the dirge type things, or the archaic approach to music. Yeah, absolutely. 1 for bottom 4 strings. You know I never do that. I'm totally 100% about the music. And you can't be totally 100% about the music if you don't get paid. And it's just stupid that people think they should be able to play for nothing. Well, I think it has a little bit to do. So we're all intended to be patrons of the arts and sciences. And that, I believe that has a lot to do with the education part of our job. Our part of like any advisory system. We're supposed to educate and inform people of the values that we hold dear and not necessarily expect them to appreciate what it is that we appreciate. And there's a really cool story there. I'm one of those people that shows up in the boardrooms and just blows it all apart, as you can imagine. You probably don't read that for me, but I'm not. So 1 flat 3, 1 flat 3, 5 flat 7, 1 flat 3, 5 flat 7. So frets 1 4 3 1 3. Actually, you know what? Let's go ahead and do another one of Raoul's. I'd like to explore one more of Raoul's exercises. He's been really working on his channel. Thank you, Mr. McBennett, for this one. So we have. Oh, if you're here and you don't mind, I certainly would love to get up to like 40 likes would be ideal. But 20 is sort of our like benchmark, so we'd like to get to that point. If you are watching and you seem to be enjoying any part of this, we certainly would enjoy you expressing that enjoyment with us in the way of clicking like on the video. So definitely appreciate that for certain. All right. Philippines, RJ, good morning. All right, nice to see everybody. Yeah, the bassist, hey, yeah, good, yeah. Jazz is life, brothers, yes, and sisters, absolutely. Let's take a look, let's talk our way through the next round here. 1, 2, 3, oh, we're using 1, 3, and then 2, 4, and then 1, 3, 2, 4. 1, 3, 2, 4, 1, 3, 2, 4, 1, 3, 2, 4, right? Or we could just do 1, 2, 3, 4 and like quintuplets. let's do this thing where good Dan Williams, I see Metallica, I see that. Let's do 1 and 3 and 2 and 4 on every string, and then when we get to the top, I'll try to remember to do 4, 2, 3, 1. Let's try, 4 attacks per beat, see what happens. Well, let's do 2 attacks per beat. This is a new shape and it might cost a little more brain power. So burn a few more calories here. 1 and a 2 and a, you know what to do. This is a really good opportunity to focus on tone production. Finger pickers, check out Justin Johnson, right on. Used to go and talk to Alan Holdsworth when he came to Dayton, but I would not see them if he wasn't getting paid to play there. That's correct. Finger pickers, check out Justin Johnson, absolutely. An entire musical piece of any kind you enjoy can be the best warm-up ever. Yeah, do you ever play, Mark, do you ever play with like your eyes closed? Do you ever practice the songs with your eyes completely closed? You are simply good at the guitar, oh my gosh. Thank you, Brick Garage. Have a great weekend, Chris. See you all on Monday morning. Have some fun with that snow. I'm headed back out with you later on. We'll be thinking of you, Dan. Dan the Yeti. Oh, Dog Eat Dog, yeah. The 420 is a good one. Yep. Good day, Dan. I got a Harley Benson Telecaster and it's great. The electronics aren't that great, but I'm getting the electronics replaced. Are you putting like Fralins in there? Can you play Eruption? Yes, I can, absolutely. What guitar do you use? This one is an Ibanez RG, like 420 HPFM or HDF something or other, but it's got that, it's not a hardtail, there's a floating bridge here. I like their floating tremolo system better than Floyd Rose, yeah. Raul, has anybody experienced these pickups used for PSR? DiMarzio? Oh, geez, I'm way behind on comments here. Sorry, guys. Sorry, gang. So, oh, Pedro, I'm missing. Sorry, I missed all of that. Play Eruption. Can you play Eruption? Ad Infinitum. I play this song, Autumn Leaves, at every gig. Yeah, alright. I'm working on some Ted Green stuff right now. Kind of re-walking through Ted Green on my channel. There's a playlist, a series that I'm doing. We're doing chord chemistry. We're literally walking word by word, page by page, chord by chord through the late, great Mr. Ted Green's chord chemistry, and it's a really exciting. It's very exciting for me to sit down and work through, rework through and reapproach the book. I'm not going to say how much time has lapsed since my first work through it, but it's, I don't need to disclose that, but it is really exciting to be there with Mr. Green and reading his words and then just going through it as a reference. I know that some of us have had, we'll pick it up and we'll get 11 pages into it and put it on the shelf and never ever come back to it. And I always thought wouldn't it be cool, wouldn't it have been cool to have a guide to walk through the book with me, like not just go to the private mentor, you know what I mean, and do the hour-long thing and then and then take it and work on it for the week. But to have like someone go through it page by page, like alongside with me, and just play every chord. I know it's not necessarily the intended course that Mr. Green, with inner voice and upper voice and all of that voice leading movement and all of that stuff. But I thought it would be a good idea for me. I just wanted to go through the entire book and then just witness his major, just massive contributions to our world of guitar and beyond. I don't know how to play. What is it like? Something like that, right? And then there's one of my favorite parts of the song. I have been adding new songs, added How High the Moon. There will never be another you. That's a good. Well, they're all good. They're all great. That's why they're called standards. It's not about what you play. Someone of my friends, Virgil, was saying, it's not about what you read, Jason. It's about what you haven't read. And I'm like, oh, darn. Got a lot to do. Got a lot to do. That's why I like to keep this on time. It's 8:30 and we're getting ready to wrap it. Mr. Hot, Kevin's got to say, I'm going to go here. Oh, he has already said that. Sorry to miss you saying that, Kevin. We're getting ready to wrap it up with you, and so happy that you're here with us, Kevin. You're so appreciated for your time. And if you wouldn't mind, say hello to Pop today, and hopefully you guys have a wonderful weekend. We'll see you over the weekend, likely, some way, form, shape, or another, but definitely we'll see you on Monday morning. I'm going to stick around, but I'm saying sayonara to Kevin, our friend Kevin. And if you guys all would like to say bye to Kevin, it's totally appropriate in this live chat. All right? See you soon, Kevin. Pedro, can you chill? I'm sure Jason sees you. I do see you. Yeah, I figured we'd be self-moderating by now, and that's about where we are. And then Kevin's he's just a gem on this channel. Super contributor. Raul McQuena, Anthony Tortorello, Marlon Grubbs. There are some sort of like lifers, like long-termers here. If you're just tuning in, we're here every weekday morning at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, doing this morning ritual, remaining focused as much as we can, and then preparing ourselves, our minds, and our guitars. The trick is, the reason why we're doing this for the entire year is I need more likes today, by the way, so 20 likes would be really cool. If you can help me with that, if you're in a situation to help without injury to yourself, I'd love to have 20. So we're taking the very first video that we did before we got started, all right? And then we're taking a look at the technique there. We're going to take a look at the very last video that we do in 2025, and we're going to compare those videos, okay? I need to mention this to you because this is very, very important, okay? We're going to take a look at what 260 hours of warm-up time does for us for this video. Basically, an hour a day, we're going to see exactly what that does for us. We're going to compare the beginning, the first, our technique, our smoothness, our approach, our posture, how we're breathing, our confidence levels. We're going to go straight down through the jury rubric, okay? We're going right straight down. Do we stand with our fingers, with our thumb in our pockets because we don't know what to do with our hands? What are we doing? So we're going through that whole process at the end of the year. It's going to be a huge celebration. So that's number one. And I would recommend you all to go through on my channel here at Jason Curry Guitar, go visit the posts page, and then take a look at Mr. Raul McQuena. So Raul is here. He's been recording himself practicing along with these morning rituals so that he can take a look. He has a few snapshots of where he was in the beginning of this process, and then he'll have other snapshots of where he is at the end of this process, and he'll be able to, you know, he can show me the videos, we can, you know, we can analyze, he can analyze himself. This is really super valuable stuff, okay?